The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Tuesday, December 6th, and it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is CA Newry, and I shall be your host for today as we have a discussion with some representatives from, they claim they're the Ministry of Culture. And I'm saying, no, you're not a ministry. You're a department, the Department of Culture. They actually have a number of events, but I want to know exactly what exactly is the Department of Culture. Is it made up of several departments? What is it that they do there, right? And now, mind you, the Bahamas' 50th anniversary, independence anniversary is on its way. And I'm trying to say, what exactly is the Department of Culture plan to do? What are they doing? I mean, I want to know what is it that is, that ministry does. So all of that rigmarole, all that introduction, all of that me trying to put words in my mouth and trying to make it make sense. I have one guest out of the four who's here at this present time, and that's Abby. I didn't forget your last name, Abby Smith. Yes, and I can't hear you, Abby. Okay, something is wrong with your mic, and the technician just went outside. But hopefully the mic comes up. Tap it a little bit for me. Nothing. Let me see what I can do. See, when you hear it at the guy, you got to be a technician at the same time as host, right? Let me see if I can. Pardon me 1 minute. You may have to move around, Abby. Okay, you come around. Yes, the producer went downstairs to pick up my other guest, and I'm trying to maneuver everything and still speak to the listening audience. So, Abby, see if you can get that mic to you, and that, yes, I can hear you. Good. And I have another guest, which is good, walking in. Yes, I'm glad everybody's on time. Yes, you're only like 6 minutes late. But no, I'm just joking, man. I'm happy to hear you. Go straight ahead because we have issues with that mic right there. And I was just about to speak to Abby about what is it that she does. That mic is not working. Okay, it's working now. What is it that she does at the Department of Culture? So, Abby, you take the mic now, and then, okay. It's dropped. It's not working. It's one of those days. Kermit, she may have to go back to her original spot. Thank God Kermit is here now, because nothing would have worked. And I would have been right here just doing what I'm doing, like talking to myself. Yeah, you can speak now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Let's start the show. Okay, before we start, right? I don't know the young lady who just walked in.
Anya Bo.
Oh, that's Anya Bo. Okay.
Yes.
Welcome, Anya Bo.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. And you speak directly into the mic so everyone can hear you?
It's great to be here. Thank
Yes.
you for having us.
It's a pleasure. And I'm here to celebrate with you. And I was speaking to Abby before you came in, Anya. What is it that you do at the Department of Culture?
Well, I'm the Cultural Affairs Officer responsible for visual arts and photography. I just recently started, but the portfolio calls to the promotion of visual arts, not just in New Providence, but in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that is from school-age children to adulthood, understanding that when you talk about culture, you talk about art, you talk about what we see, what it is that we do, how we express that through the various art forms. And of course, visual arts is very broad, and so that can lend itself from drawing on a piece of paper to drawing on a tablet to painting to, of course, my specialty murals, sculpture, photography, filmmaking, graphic design, architecture, you name it, you call it. And so, of course, when you think about how that relates to culture, a nation can be built without knowing exactly how to identify themselves. And artists are persons who create that visual for you, who really show you exactly what it is according to their upbringing, according to their experiences, what we look like, what we should do, how things should look. And that can go from the way we dress to the way buildings look, the way roads are supposed to be paved or designed. So everything requires an artist.
Okay, good. And go straight to Anya, right? Your question is completely different because I want to understand why is culture so important to the Bahamas, and particularly, right? Because your department is joining to a larger ministry, Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture. And there are times, you hear Ministry of Youth, capital Y, Ministry of Sports, capital S. And culture seems to be like a little small afterthought, right? And especially in a time where Bahamians are craving culture. Bahamians are proud people, right? And they want to express themselves loud. And the idea that there's an entire department who's dedicated for expressing who we are and showcasing who we are, I'm starting to question whether, and watch me get you vexed, right? Whether you all doing a good job.
Oh, how dare you. First and foremost, let me inform you that you might not realize, but this month is actually Cultural Heritage Month.
I heard a rumor about that.
Oh, please, okay? But a rumor. Don't talk to me like that. I'm here now, and I'm here to inform you.
Tell them it ain't gossip. It ain't gossip. It's
It
the
is
truth.
absolutely not gossip. And we've actually had things going on. And so culture is important because culture is who we are. Our theme this year is celebrating ourselves because culture is us. You know what I'm saying? Culture is not just Junkanoo. Culture is the way we dress, the way we talk, the things we eat, how we interact with each other. And at the end of the day, how could we dispute that? How could we just drop that and leave that to the side? That is us. So at the end of the day, culture is always going to be a capital C.
Capital culture.
How dare you, okay? We're not going to have no lowercase c in here today. All right? I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
But any minute now, I sure my callers will call and beg to differ and challenge you because they are eager. I have a lot of proud callers here, right, who are eager to basically celebrate themselves. That's what you said, celebrating ourselves, right? And they want to know when tourists in particular comes to the Bahamas, what all can they experience and what all that you are doing to make sure that they are able to celebrate us as Bahamians.
Well, especially in the month of December, we have things like Culture in the Park happening. So we're choosing different communities to go into where we're showcasing.
Is this new?
Is it new?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's a new concept, but it's something that we're bringing back on stream.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
So,
And
it's a new direction, maybe, or a revitalization of something brand new,
yes.
or something that was done
Yeah,
before.
I would say a revitalization because now we have so many more Bahamian artists.
Yes.
Whether that's musical, whether that's visual, whether that's in film or whatever, we have so much to showcase. And so what we're realizing is we can have numerous events celebrating ourselves throughout the year and showcasing the best in Bahamian talent, the best in Bahamian, everything. And so we even with food vendors, we have the food vendors there as well. So in the different communities, you could bring anybody. We just had one the other day at the fort right across from the fish fry. And so that would have been a good location for tourists to come. I think the only problem that we're having is really getting our advertisement out there and getting the word out there. Because, we government, all right? We're trying to get into that whole digital age because we realize that that's where our communities are going now. But, it's slow and steady. That's, what they say, the turtle is the one that wins the race or something like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we have to try to make sure it's proper. We do it properly. We don't want to just rush into that, digital space without knowing what it is that we're doing. And so hopefully we will be able to come on stream with a website where people can be able to get information quickly as to what we're doing and where they can find us.
And I'm going to bait my cousin Abby here, right? Who is Bahamian culture for?
Bahamian culture is for everybody. It's not just for the tourists. If you're just creating or if you're just exhibiting your culture for those on the outside, then do you really know yourself? Are you just manifesting something that's purely for an outsider to look at? Or is that something that you're going to create so that everybody can identify with it? If you don't know who you are, how is it that you can showcase that to somebody else?
Yes, Abby. Hello.
Okay. and I'm trying to soak this in, right? And trying to appreciate you for who you are, right? How many is Department of Culture? And definitely there's a visual arts section. I understand that you explained that well. What other sections are there within this Department of Culture so I can get a whole scope of, okay, you're all busy, you all have different veins of
We
things happening.
have an officer that's responsible for John Canoe, drama, literary
But
arts.
you know you're going quickly because I'm going to ask which one each one for. So you have someone responsible for John Canoe. What
For
you mean
John
by
Canoe.
what you mean by responsible?
All things John Canoe. So, of course, when you think about the upcoming parades, that we have that officer that's directly responsible for that.
Liaisons and going between. Okay,
Yes,
I understand that.
and Junior John Canoe as well, and also John Canoe on the Family Islands, because a lot of people just think that everything is Nassau centric. And of course, if you're in a Department of Culture for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, then everything is not just situated in Nassau. It's also for everybody.
Good.
There are cultural liaisons on, I think, 3 of our major islands. And of course, they are doing an excellent job with ensuring that culture is very much relevant with a capital C, a capital U, a capital L, a capital T, a capital U, a capital R, a capital E. Okay? We have to always push culture to the forefront, because at the end of the day, a country can't function without culture being at the forefront.
So I got visual arts and I get John Canoe.
You have literary arts.
And explain that. You have an officer who does that.
Yes.
Right? What does that officer do in general?
We'll leave that on you.
Okay, so like we were saying earlier, we have been revamping the whole culture concept and what it is that we do in our reach. You know, a lot of people would say that Junkanoo is our only culture.
Yes.
No, that's not the truth. And we want to prove that. And we want, at the end of the day, the best way to do it is to show it. And so with literary arts, we have Miss Sands, who's also our assistant director, who is promoting literature. So authors and writers, poets, illustrators are the persons that she's been having conversations with to see how best we can increase the industry. So as a matter of fact, this year, actually this month, we will be releasing our anthology. And so our anthology is a collection of Bahamian short stories.
And you said this Miss Sands, assistant director, right?
Yes.
How come I don't know anything but no anthology coming out anytime soon?
So that brings us back to the original point of getting the word out there, understanding that, there are new platforms in which that we have to use. And of course, if you're a young person like myself and Anya, who traditionally persons would use flyers, they would use, paper media, but now everything is also digital. So of course, changing that mindset not only just starts, it's a battle, okay?
Yes.
And of course, we're trying to get that information out there as best as we can, because our audience isn't just the paper people. It's those that, traverse the internet, that traverse the Facebooks, the Twitter, the Instagram. Of course, if we're not using those avenues for marketing, then of course we would lose a great population of people. So
Let's go back to Anya because I want to hear about this literary thing that y'all doing.
Yes.
So give me some more information about this literary thing. So, because I know a lot of poets. I know a person who writes short stories. Just yesterday, I forget her name. Lady Franklin. Anyway, she just said, "Oh, is there any literary thing you know about?" And I said, "No, I have no idea what's happening. There doesn't seem to be anything. Maybe next year."
See,
and
that's
then you
why
came
we're
right
here.
here and saying that you having some kind of big anthology getting published.
Look at God. Isn't that a blessing? I mean, jeez. So yes, on the 19th of December, we will be launching our anthology.
Explain that to me. When you say launching this, you mean you publishing it, or you going to say starting the campaign to get the works out?
We'll be publishing it.
Okay.
Yes.
And tell me about that so people at least know what's happening.
Yeah, we have a soft cover and a hard cover. I am not sure if it's going to be on sale right away, but I do know that it will be available to the persons that are a part of the anthology. And so what we did is, this was another thing that we did digitally because it was kind of happening during COVID time, towards the tail part of that whole COVID time of being in home. And so what we did is we put a call out for short stories, and we didn't even realize how many short stories we would have gotten in. We
can
had
imagine.
over, like, at some point we had to tell people, like, okay,
Hold on.
that's it, because we only can hold about 50 in the actual anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up with about 100 and something, or almost like about 110 stories that we had to sort of shorten
Condense and
into
edit.
50 stories for the anthology. But of course, we want to do this. We want to continue because we want to encourage literacy. We want to encourage writers to continue doing their thing. Also, the persons that are a part of the anthology were paid for their stories. How exciting
Nice.
is that? So now we're not only promoting Bahamian artists, promoting Bahamian art, and promoting our writers. We're now trying to get you some money in your pocket. You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah. You have a name for the anthology book yet, or not yet, or wait for the announcement?
Can you wait for the
I shall
announcement on the
wait for
19th? Thank you very
what
much.
What is your assistant director name so I get inbox her?
Miss Portia Sands.
Portia Sands.
Yes.
You know I can write her right. Anyway, but let's continue. So now I understand we have someone, a representative for Junkanoo. We have a representative for visual arts. We have a representative for literary arts, right? Inside the Department of Culture. Is there any other departments or divisions within the Department of Culture?
Oh, yes.
We have film as well. Music.
Well, I think film and visual art is in the same thing.
Well, no, you know. Now we're gonna say capital V.
Okay.
Capital V now. Visual arts, like I said, it's so vast that sometimes now you have to pull different genres out of visual arts itself. Film operating by itself, different thing now. For example, the E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival. For years, film has been an additive to the visual arts section, but now, starting in 2023, film will take on its own competition.
Nice.
And they will have a film festival as a result of that. As you know, E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival is open to every Bahamian from when you're born to when you're dead.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just I can go to school and I'm just gonna be in the National Arts Festival. No, this is for the community as well. So everybody has an opportunity to make a film, and not just any film. You can tell a story. You can do a documentary. You can do a silent film. You can do a black and white film, and there's so many ways that you can tell a story by just using film. And so our colleague Moya, who should be joining us shortly.
Miss Moya Thompson.
Yes, she is responsible for that brainchild because she and I made this argument that film should be in its own category because there are so many Bahamian filmmakers today, and what better way to show that we are investing in the future than using our own festival to launch something like a film festival for young adults. Like I said, National Arts Festival is open to the community, but of course, most of our participants are school aged. So of course, using that as a way to insert that into the schools is a perfect opportunity to show schools the investment in film. So the need for a film officer is very important. Her role is very important. Her role in visual arts is very important because without her, I can't do what I got to do. Without me, she can't do what she has to do.
Okay. And I see they having she was a call for some kind of competition to happen soon, or to at least a conversationable film. I saw she was promoting on social media. Yeah. So this is what I get so far. There's a representative for Junkanoo. There's a representative for visual arts / film, which is 2, and the representative for literary arts. Is that the composition of everything for
music as well?
Or there's one for Bahamian music. Hey.
Yes,
Wow.
that'll be Synovia Pierre, and you should know Synovia Pierre. She's a fantastic artist, philanthropist. I mean, she has been around doing the culture thing for a very long time, and especially getting culture to the kids. That's what Synovia has been known for. And so Synovia is actually in charge of the Clement Bethel sector, where they have also expanded into not only film, but I mean, geez, things just all the way down to DJing. I'm like, wow, I can't believe these kids know about this stuff. Like, it's amazing what the kids have been producing in the Clement Bethel National Arts Festival. The talents that they've been showcasing have been fantastic. So, yeah, Synovia is a part of music. But another division that we haven't spoken about yet, I've been a little quiet and modest about it, but I have to bring it up now, is fashion.
Let them know, Anya.
And as you can see, I am the fashion lady. As you can see from my outfit and everything, I'm the colorful fashion lady. And so, as of last year, we would have had our very first fashion show. Was that this year or last year?
It was
that
this-
was this year.
this year.
Oh, my brain. So this year we would have had our very first fashion show, our tour fashion show, which we had right at the front of our office on the lawn area. It was so well attended. It went fantastic. So much so we had the Prime Minister's wife was there, and she really enjoyed herself. She stayed for the entire event, and we've been asked to do it again for the Independence Celebration. So for the Independence Celebration, the fashion world is coming with something dynamic. I must warn you and let you know.
So you mentioned independence inside your spiel just now, right? So I must conclude that the Department of Culture will be prominent and evident in the preparation and for the delivery of the Independence Day celebration.
Yes.
Yes, along with the Independence Committee, because we
Oh, so you're a part of the Independence Committee?
No, we
Or
are not a
working in
part.
tandem?
We are not a part of the Independence Committee, but we will. We do consult them on things. Like they would reach out to say, and that is another thing that I want to bring up: our cultural registry. So we also started a cultural registry, which we want to have a listing of all of our cultural practitioners, and so people like. Independence Committee would reach out and say, hey, we want all of the filmmakers that you have on your cultural registry, or we want all of the performers that you have on your cultural registry, because we want to start setting out our shows for the Independence celebrations. And so we would send over that cultural registry list, and those persons would get those opportunities. And so that is another thing that we would like to push. We've been trying to push it for the last year, our cultural registry, which is online, and you can sign up for it online. Is a link for it, which you can find on our Facebook page. And I can also share that with you if you would like to share it anywhere.
I would like to hear the Facebook page that you have.
Oh, yes, we do have a Facebook page. We have the official one, which is the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, but we also have one separately for the Division of Culture, where we would post what's happening, like little small things that's happening with the department, little announcements, all of our flyers, everything that's happening, all the things that are coming up. For example, how with this whole month, how something is happening every day. We're going to be posting all of those things on our Facebook page.
So I tend not to humble myself at all because I'm brash and can be bold at times, right? And I want to humbly apologize because I was here to say, man, there's no such thing as a Department of Culture, you know? And to hear you come and explain each division within your department, right? And to see that you're active and doing stuff, right? I could feel that you were doing stuff. Mind you, I ain't see it yet. But I mean, like, I feel that you were doing stuff, right? And so I will help you in terms of make sure Bahamian people are aware of what all you're doing. So I want to humbly say, okay, I'm sorry. You all exist. You're thriving. Things are happening. And the Bahamian people just need to know what's happening and to engage themselves. So if Bahamians want to be a part of what is it that you do, I know you seem like you be doing so much. I assume that you visit the Facebook page. I see you have the registry. I was very impressed by you. The cultural registry that you can go and just say, hey, I am a poet.
Yes.
I am a performance type poet, just in case you want some content for the independence. They, a visual artist or someone who does murals can say, hey, I do a muralist. That's the word.
Yes.
I'm a muralist, and I want to design some walls if you all have that for the future. And this is my work here. They can showcase. So that exists. That is possible.
That
Absolutely.
does.
And it's opportunities not just locally, it's opportunities internationally as well. People like CARICOM, people like Caribbean Export, we work with those people all the time. And so when they reach out to us and they want to have their own events and they want, for example, let's say they want some straw portfolios. All of my straw vendors that I have on my listing, I can now go to those straw vendors and say, hi, I need invoices for da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. These much portfolios, I want it to look like this. And now all of those persons have a fair chance to get that opportunity.
Right, blown away. So let me ask this question. And I've been picking on the people in Abaco, Hope Tower, for instance, and I don't want to get you in problems because this is more likely a director type response or the minister type response. But I'll frame it this way so you can still answer. Abaco had a big country and western a concert the other day, or going to have one, right? And it's very American oriented. They do country and western songs, so I understand. And how does the Department of Culture influence events similar to that? To say, man, hey, we have some Bahamian people who do cowboy stuff, can they come and participate?
Ooh, that's a
Or
tough one.
let me change it. Do you all have in your Department of Culture a division of festivals?
Actually, festivals is taken care of by agriculture. That falls
Festivals in
That
agriculture.
falls under. Well, we do have festivals in our portfolio, but all of homecomings and the regattas and all of that festivals, they are done by agriculture.
I'm sure they have the reason for that, but it's cool. So now let me gravitate and pivot. And I was trying to procrastinate until Moya comes, right? But I need to find out about this month-long thing that you all are proposing. First of all, is this the first time it's happening, or you all been having this from King Hammer?
This has
with a
been
hatchet?
happening for years.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of it.
Never heard of
But
it.
you've heard of it now.
Yeah. And
So-
okay, so for the listening audience, and so they could be aware of what I'm speaking about, tell me what is happening this December. What is the name of it, and what is the objective of it, and what is happening for December?
Well, it's National Cultural Heritage Month, always practiced in the month of December, for the entire month of December, from December 1st to December 31st. And of course, it's a plethora of events that we're having, from Zoom shows to actual Culture in the Park Festival. We have a very extensive calendar, might I add. We just finished our Christmas Cultural Village on Saturday that was
I
held
want
at
to talk about that, and I don't know if I should interrupt you and talk about that first, or let you go on with all that's happening. So I let you go on and then remind me. Let's talk about what
Oh
happened
yeah,
on
we gotta
Saturday.
hit that. We
gotta
gotta hit that.
We gotta hit that hard. So, we had the the Christmas Cultural Village. That was Saturday past. We had a movie night at Quaku Street. We're going to be launching the E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival for 2023. Of course, this is the year, or as we say, the road to 50. So, of course, the festival is going to be bigger and larger, and it's going to have more reach, especially when we want to go from the northern tip of the Bahamas to the southern tip of the Bahamas, because of course, we want to reach everybody. And so that means that if there's someone that can sing from the depths of their stomach, and then there's someone who can paint with their eyes closed, or there's someone who can dance and go all the way in the air, we want to showcase that, because everything is authentically Bahamian and it's for us. Moving towards into the month, we have also the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. We have the John Canoe parades. We also have Moya Thompson's Film Festival that's coming more towards the end of the month. There are so many activities within the month that we can spend an entire show talking about those activities.
Oh, we also should mention Bahamian Dialogues.
Of course.
Because Bahamian Dialogues is something we actually started before the month of December, and it's something we've kind of continued carrying on into, and we've gotten a really good response. So Bahamian Dialogues, we're really just reaching out to different sectors of the cultural diaspora. For example, tonight I'll be talking to the makeup artists. Last night,
I know you got to pause, right? Because I hear Bahamian Dialogues, right? And I thought of some kind of dossier, like some kind of show. But it sounds like you're talking to people.
yes.
So let's start over and say Bahamian Dialogues, this is what I do.
Yeah, so Bahamian Dialogues, we are talking to the practitioners, the persons who are in the industry, doing the work. We want to really get a sense of where they feel their industry is, where they see their industry going, and how the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture can help enhance their industry. And so those are the conversations that we are having right now. It's been a really good response. Last week we would have talked to the poets, and comedians.
Every time you say the word poets and stuff like that, I pause. I go and say, how come I don't know anything about this when there is a number of poets who follow me on my page and they're not talking about anything? But anyway,
Well, do you follow our page?
that's the point right there.
That's right there, there. That's it.
Yeah.
So when you follow also, because we had this conversation, please know that I will be calling you.
It's an announcement for all those Bahamian poets out there. there is a page on the Department of Culture
Division of
Division of
Cultural
Cultural Affairs that you can go and log on and get some information about producing your work and participating and stuff like that.
Yes, I would have had I had a great conversation with D'Angelo Wims.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know
Bijan.
I know Bijan too.
Rico Johnson. Yeah. So I had a conversation with those three, and in talking to them, and in talking to a lot of the persons, because I also did one for the fashion industry. It's just a matter of exposure. They just want to get out there. They want to get their things out there. They want people to know that this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the love of my country, for the love of everything that we are. But at the same time, I have to make money because this is what I do for a living, and this is what I want to do for a living. So yeah, it's just about exposure and finding opportunities for them.
So there's like a niche market that you have dialogues with, and they can contact the Division of Culture and say, hey, I want to have a discussion on how culture, the Division of Culture can work with me.
Absolutely. Because all of those things are enhancing our culture if we really be honest about it,
Okay. And I see we had Moya here, and welcome.
Hey!
I hope your meeting went well, because I understand you were running late, but it's good. You missed fruit.
Now, that's the first thing I say.
No problem.
You missed the fruit.
But let's talk. We're talking culture, and mind you, Anya and Abby has represented the Division of Culture well. They give me a plethora of information, which I did not know. I even had to humble myself, which is rare, and apologize to the whole Division of Culture and that you're existing and thriving and doing things.
Praise the Lord.
What I want to talk about is the road to 50, right? And I know it's broad because, you're separate and apart from the division that is working on the Independence Day Festival, right? And and Anya had mentioned that you will have a partnership of sort where you'll be given information on who can participate, whatever it is. But I want to know culturally, as a part of Division of Culture, what cultural think that the division will be doing?
Okay, so
A little closer there to the mic.
A little closer. Good morning, everybody. My name is Moya Thompson. I'm the Cultural Affairs Officer with responsibility for film and cinematography.
So you want to concentrate on that? I am
And
good,
that's
but that's
where
okay. But
I-
we're talking broad. I mean, go to the next. Go ahead.
And so when we talk about Road to 50, I can speak from that perspective.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I can speak from that perspective. And so I came in when Miss Abby Smith was talking about the Division of Cultural Affairs Film Fest that I am spearheading on behalf of filmmakers. And one of my goals is to kind of bridge the Bahamian community with the film community, because a lot of persons do not know that we have a lot of local Bahamian filmmakers
Yes.
that are making films here, and they're making films abroad, and they're making a big splash abroad. And so we would have had a meeting 2 weeks ago where Stephanie Mihon, who is Gombe Kids, Bahamian born and bred, she had
You won some awards from recently.
they won a number of international awards, and she's presently getting ready to go international and has a huge following. Work that she would have started here at the ground roots and shot through at the grassroots, I should say, with basically beginning with seed funding in the amount of $15,000 and now operating on a budget of $500,000. And so I apologize. Sorry.
No, go ahead. These things happen.
And so that's what we want for our filmmaking community, and that's what we want for our artists and cultural community, where they, like Anya said, that where they can make money, like we can start here, and we can push ourselves to the world, which is how the world knows what our culture is. And so for me, that's where film comes in, because the world gets to see us in film, because we're able to do that. So for on that part, speaking, I'm not sure if you guys spoke on the National Arts Festivals yet, and so film will now be a section in the National Arts Festival. So I just come from a meeting where I was talking to some educators in regards to that, and they're excited and to begin entering films for that, where we can begin with our children, how to tell stories, how to express, how to highlight our culture in storytelling, in visual storytelling, going forward into, say, like you say, the road to 50. a lot of time, and I came up in drama. So I came up in singing and drama where a lot of things was very localized. A lot of our plays, a lot of people don't know. Like we know Raisin in the Sun, not because we went to Broadway, but because we saw Sir Sidney on TV in A Raisin in the Sun. And so how can we take a lot of our, our Eddie Menaces and the stories that we were told here and the plays that we've done here, and how can we kind of package that and make that something that the world can see and the world can take part of? And I think that's kind of where my focus is in terms of what we can do with film. And so we have the National Arts Festival that film is a part of. We have our Film Fest in December 28th, Wednesday, December 28th, where persons will be able to come out and see from a fun perspective, what are some things that filmmakers do as far as makeup and animation? We're going to have a small cultural PSA film competition between filmmakers, Battle of the Filmmakers, and we will be screening Cargo by Kareem Mortimer. For those who have not seen it, please come out. And for those who have seen it, come out again. So those are some things that I do.
So just before you came in, Abby was going into detail about the month-long festival, month-long celebration, right? And I know that you had an event on Saturday, right? But I want to know, before time run out on this, I want to know what the calendar, what all is happening, and then I want to go back to what happened on Saturday.
Okay.
Is that okay? And so today is December 6th, right? Anything happening today?
Yes, today we have Bahamian Dialogues with the Makeup Artistry. That's
what
going to
you
be
said. Okay, go ahead.
That's going to be on Zoom. That's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be live. It's going to be live on our Facebook page, so you can find that on our Facebook page. And then the 7th, we have the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony, which is going to be in Rawson Square. Oh, I'm being told that that's not happening on the 7th
That's the
anymore.
National Tree Light. Because, mind you, and I have nothing to do with you, of course, but I be in passing Bay Street and people being posted and saying, what happened to the Christmas tree? But it coming.
That's going to be moved to the 11th, the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony.
So you heard it here first. December 11th, that's when you go and look at the Christmas tree lighting up.
Absolutely. And so remember I had mentioned Culture in the Park. We have Culture in the Park happening on Long Island. And we also going to have one, that's going to be on the 9th. And on the 10th, we'll have Culture in the Park, Nassau Village. So that's
And what is Cultural in the Park?
That's going to be run by Mr. Henry Higgins. Mr. Henry Higgins is dealing with all of our community outreach projects. And so what he's doing is reaching out to the communities to, showcase the talent within the community.
Oh, nice.
Also, it's almost like a mini fair within each of these constituencies and communities. And so they're showcasing themselves, they're bringing their food out, they're selling their food, they're interacting with each other, having a good time. It's really a fun day. He sets up fantastic performances. He has great vendors out there. So it's really, really family time. It's a time for everybody. It's open to everyone and happens during the day, leading into the evening. So, it's great for the community, fellowship among the community. So it's a really good time.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sorry. More. On the 18th, we have the Religion Culture Movie Night Pop-Up. That's going to be at the Edmund Moxie Center at 6 p.m. On the 19th, we have the National Anthology launch at 10 a.m. We're going to also have Bahamian Dialogues that same night because we're going to be talking to the authors that were actually a part of the anthology to, get some feedback from them and see how they feel about being a part of the anthology, what it means to them. So I think that's going to be something you don't want to miss too. On the 20th, we have another Bahamian Dialogues about how I grow up. And so with this one, we'll be interviewing different persons that are, of a younger persuasion that know way back when, things were kind of different. Because I know for me, I grew up a little different. I'm only 25.
Nice.
I'm only 25. So really, the only thing I know is ditch. But we want to know about, how you grew up without the digital age. And so we have some persons that grew up in that era that are going to be talking about how they grew up and the different things. And we're really going to be examining how, the different aspects of culture and how culture evolves throughout the years.
Okay.
Moving right along, we have the Grand Bahama. Oh, in Grand Bahama, we have an artisan showcase happening on the 21st of December. That'll be from 6 to 10. On the 22nd, we have a live DJ show. It's going to be gospel on Island FM at 5 p.m. Live DJ shows are always good. We did them last year, and we had a great response, so we said we're going to do it again this year. On the 25th, is going to be Eleutheris Junkanoo Parade. On the 26th, Nassau New Providence Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. The 27th, Long Island Junkanoo Parade. The 28th, Culture Film Fest 2022. And that's going to be held at the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas. What time are y'all?
We start at 3 o'clock and we end. The feature film presentation comes on at 7. The competition films and the short films leading up to it will start at 6.
On the 29th, we're going to have another live DJ show for, the Bahamian artists, the secular Bahamian artists. And so that'll also be on Island FM at 5 p.m. And then on the 30th, we are going to end it all off with Culture in the Square, where we're going to bring together everything that we would have been showing you throughout the month and put it all on one stage in Rawson Square. So that's going to be very exciting on the 30th. You absolutely don't want to miss it. And we are going to have some poets on the show.
And I'm excited for you. I mean, I'm excited for the Bahamas to hear that so many events are happening during the Christmas time. Mm-hmm. So isn't that you just eat ham and turkey and go visit family? You can actually have family events and things to do during this December time. So that's something exciting about.
Absolutely. And all of our events are free as well. I just have to mention that. Free. Free. All of our events are free, including the cultural village that we just had on Saturday.
Any food?
Oh yeah, vendors.
Free food.
No.
Support those vendors. Support those.
You gotta
vendors.
support the vendors. The vendors come out there and they bring all their food out there. You have to
from
support
Ackland, so we
people.
like free, but I understand. But let's talk again about last week's Saturday's big event. That was December 3rd, a big event. It was a big event. It was a free event. It's just that so many things was happening that day, right? That day was just a busy day.
It was.
But your event supposed to be spectacular. And I want to hear more about it. So next year, I can share myself out differently and say, okay, I got to go to this cultural event put on by the Division of Culture.
Yeah, we need y'all to give us a sweet discount. We need Guardian Radio there, as a matter of fact, for the whole day. We need y'all to do a remote.
Discounts is possible. No, nothing free. But I mean, discounts are possible.
But our event free?
No, that's okay. We have to pay for airtime and pay people paycheck.
Absolutely. But hopefully we can get y'all there doing a remote next year. Hopefully we have a little something in the budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hint, director.
They have all kind of money to travel, so I'm sure they'll have a budget.
Child, I ain't talking about that.
I know you get sent home, but I want to hear about Saturday. What was Saturday about? What all was showcased? Why did Saturday happen?
Saturday happened because we wanted to showcase our young people. Cultural festival showcased DJ Manny, who was a young up-and-coming DJ who was actually at our Culture Under the Stars, and he rocked that event from beginning to end, and he did the same on Saturday alongside DJ Zion. And then we had, family-oriented activities where we had a petting zoo. We had bouncing castles. We had persons from the various children's home come and bring out their children, and they had a grand time. We had painting with the kids, something that I did. 3 or 4 sessions painting their version of paint and sip without the sipping. They had an excellent time. There were about 30 to 40 children per session, and they enjoyed that thoroughly. Moya came in on the tail end, and she kicked into teacher mode and gave me a break. But it was very good. We had vendors out there, inclusive of Alive as well. So while you were out, we had face painting, yes. But yes, we did have vendors out there. So if you didn't have an opportunity to tell your family and friends that, this was going on, Alive was out there to give you those minutes so that you can call or you can text or you can go live and say, hey, listen, we out here. Y'all need to come out here. We had Sawyer Boy, who was our gracious host for the evening. We had a Jonkanu Rush Hour that was powered by Roots, some Jonkanu group, and it was an amazing night. It was truly a showcase of Bahamian culture, not just with arts and crafts and of course face painting and all of those other things, but also just an evening of family fun. Of course, when you go by your family's houses during the Christmas season, of course, you always have some level of karaoke, some dance competition. You always have some storytelling. You always have that one family member that always wants to show you some magic. Of course, we brought that to the lawn of Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and it was very much well appreciated by the public that attended. Of course, there were so many things that we competed with on Saturday, but we were grateful for the persons who came and really filled our grounds, and especially the kids, because they were running round and round and round and round
and spinning those lights.
Spinning the lights. And
So come 2023, I have each one of you say something, right? Come 2023, what can the Bahamian public expect from the Department of Culture, Division of Culture, or from your individual areas that your office is at? Anyone could jump at that. 2023.
Good boy.
Well, 2023, I know I can, like I said, I know where, as far as where my passion is, we want to see some Bahamian films. We're trying to get them on TV, but we want to see start more of them in film festivals, promoting Bahamian culture, promoting aspects. Even if the movie is not a culture movie, we want to see Bahamian culture in the movie, and so Bahamian music in the movie, and we want to see more of those out film festivals. Because film is an expensive kind of medium where we're talking $1 million, $2 million for a low budget film. So when we look at what we're looking at is just short films getting out there. And even now in conversations, I'm talking to persons as it relates to streaming services and that kind of thing, because streaming is now the new way that people are going, and those options. So one of our goals as filmmakers in the Bahamas is to get on a streaming service, is to get a show on a streaming service. Because we're watching things like Blood and Water on Netflix, which is an African themed. I'm sure we see a lot of we've even seen Jamaican films, a lot of Jamaican films on Netflix as well. So we want to progress to the point where we can see a Bahamian film or a Bahamian TV series, whether it's Gombe Kids or some other Bahamian series out there, spreading Bahamian culture and bringing more people to the Bahamas, because we know that there's that kind of hand go hand come. So if we can get out there, we can bring people in.
Okay, and Anya?
First and foremost, you have to expect that we are going to definitely push culture. Culture is who we are. Culture is us celebrating ourselves. So in the areas of film, visual arts, drama, community outreach, music, fashion, Jonkanu, all of those, culinary as well. We are definitely going to be doing what we can to make sure that not only are we pushing our practitioners, but also inspiring young people to realize that you don't have to come out of school and just be a teacher, doctor, or politician. You can do whatever your heart desires. Once you work hard for what it is that you want, you can absolutely do it. And I feel that once they feel they have the support behind them, especially the support of someone like the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, that people are gonna shoot for their dreams. People say all the time, your talent is going to make way for you. Your gifts are gonna make a way for you. And so it's somebody that does something for a profession. I'm also professionally a singer. So I love singing, and it's something that I love. So I'm always going to push for persons, especially if you are a cultural practitioner, to do it for a living. I'm always going to push for that.
Hey, you sing rap, right? You have that rap voice.
You can see that, eh?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see you bebopping. Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. My name is Anya. I'm the best, and I come from culture. That's all I gotta say.
She needs some work more. Go ahead, Abby.
Well, just to piggyback off of what Anya had said, a lot of people don't know about the Department of Culture or the Division of Cultural Affairs is that everyone on staff, we're cultural practitioners. So we're not just about the talk, we're about the action. Just as we go out there and we do our jobs, we are actually doing the job that we're promoting. So, of course, Anya, she's fashion. You see it in her everyday walk. You see it in everyday talk. Everything that she does is attached to fashion. The same goes, she lives exactly what it is that she does. Myself, I do the same thing. You can look at me and say, you know what, that one there, she's that typical artist.
Miss Nixon, we have to
Miss
shout out
Nixon.
Miss Nixon.
You know, Miss Daisy, we have Miss Daisy on staff. You know, she's living, she's what do we say? If you're working a job where you don't feel like you're working, you're in a great place. And that's what it is at the Department of Culture. And of course, moving forward to 2023, it is my hope that, you know, visual arts, you know, goes on a greater platform, because a lot of people think that it's just merely painting and drawing. But like I said, the genre is so vast that, you know, there's so many things that need to be put into the limelight that persons don't really talk about. The fact that, you know, you have art that extends itself to copyright law. You know, of course, you have art that extends itself to graphic design in a way where it really brands companies. You know, a lot of people don't realize that that too is a part of visual arts. And so even when you think about the road to 50, when you see the road to 50, that's iconic with the design. You know, this weekend was very important, you know, especially for visual artists, because not only do you see a road to 50, but you actually felt it, because the artist that envisioned that design wanted you to feel that road to 50. The colors, the text, everything about it was something that was supposed to draw you in. And so for me, I want visual arts to have that feeling in 2023. I want you to be drawn in.
Okay, nice. And again, before we go, because we have seconds, how do we contact the division of culture to say, I'm an artisan, I'm an artist, I want to participate, I want to lend myself to this journey that you all are on? How do I get in contact with you? Say, I'm a graphic artist, I'm a visual artist, I do videos, you know, I heard this Moya person on the radio. You know?
You can reach out to us on our Facebook pages. We are also on Instagram. You can reach out to us there. And you can also call us at the office. The number is 502-0600. Once again, 502-0600.
And where is the office?
And the office is right on Thompson Boulevard, University Boulevard now. Sorry.
Okay.
And it's the education building. So we share the building with education. We're in the same building as education. Everybody know where the education building is, across from the Rubis, right next to...
Ivy Dumont building.
Yes, the Ivy Dumont building. But you know how we do. You know how we do. Why you mess with my directions?
And culture's on the left-hand side. I wonder how I found that out.
On the third floor. On the third floor.
I would just like to plug my email, just because I'm dealing with something that's new. If persons want to reach out with regards to film for the National Arts Festival, which I have mentioned, you can reach National Arts Fest at Gmail. You can email that number if you're interested in entering a film for the festival, or you can email Moya M. Thompson at bahamas.gov.bs for either of those things.
And which is National Arts Festival again?
Which day?
Yeah, it's a particular.
It's not a specific day.
It's a whole month thing.
It's a whole.
It's
about
like-
6
it's a few
months.
months.
It's about
Yeah.
6 months.
Because remember now, for Eclem and Bethel, it encompasses all of the islands.
Yes.
And so for this year, because we are not dealing with COVID anymore, we are actually now going to be traveling to each island. Previously, for the last 2 years, we've been doing it digitally, where they're sending in their videos to us. But now we can go out to the islands now and actually see the kids. The judges are going to be going to the kids and
Yes.
actually being able to interact
Individually,
directly
yes.
with them.
That's a film by itself, just journeying and recording what's happening.
Tell me about it. You ready? You ready?
I want to travel too.
Let's go.
Especially if the government paying for it.
Well, if you're gonna do a film, if you could film it, I mean,
I have
you
an
could work
iPhone.
something out.
I have an iPhone. And everybody else traveling except me. So I need to travel. You know?
Well, speaking on that point, you can apply for a cultural grant in January.
Yeah.
Yes.
See?
We have cultural grants open up in January, and so
Yes.
persons who may be interested in applying for a cultural grant can look out for that, like we said on the Division of Cultural Affairs page.
And when you say cultural grant, someone
A
give me
grant.
money to do what?
A grant for something culturally relevant.
Wow.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
get money
Yes.
and just produce.
Yes.
See, I need to invite you just to talk about that. Invite you back to say, get some money.
Whenever you are ready, we are ready.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody comes on time.
Oh yes.
Shit. Shade. Yeah, I'm now Kermit, and Kermit just stepped out, and this is being Guardian Radio in the AM with CA Newry. But in the meantime, since he's not here, I'll plug in the last 2 minutes because we know we're 3 minutes before the Kermit. Where did he appear from? Thank you very much, Kermit. This has been Guardian Radio, the AM with CA Newry, and thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.